Ghostbusters 2016. It hit the theaters. I guess, yeah, you can't say it flopped because it made money, but it didn't surpass its budget or whatever. Now we get another opportunity. We're getting closer to Halloween here. So what says Halloween more than ghosts? I'll tell you what, a progressively rotting pumpkin. And
it's freaking fungus at this point.
Yes, it's pretty much a residence for various forms of fungi and mold.
Look at its face, dude.
As its decay harkens terrible things, a lot of people thought that the eventual release of Ghostbusters was a harbinger of the freaking apocalypse, apparently, because when those trailers, as awful as they were, hit the street, everybody pretty much, swore up and down that their next child was going to be stillborn or something. It's like, oh my God, no.
It was pretty pathetic, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, the geek outcry was embarrassing.
Honestly, I think that with the announcement of an all-female cast and everything that was leading up to the first trailer, it pretty much doomed it in fanboys' eyes. And the first trailer kind of cemented this is crap.
And don't get me wrong, we're not propagating the idea that all the criticism was because it was an all-female cast. Initially, there was that's kind of fucking shitty or whatever. We're gonna just even forget those guys. Who cares about those people that were like, it's all females, I don't want to see that. Who cares about that crap? I sure as hell don't, because I come from a generation where strong female leads became the thing thanks to things like Buffy and anything after that. And of course, in the past, we had Ripley, etc. I don't give a crap if they were freaking raccoons, as long as it was a good movie or at least an enjoyable one. So anyway, but we had those trailers, which were like, oh man, they were not encouraging in the least. And then we had Paul Feig and several others in the production team basically call everybody an idiot. That was a stupid move. What they should have done, just let the work speak for itself. And when the work finally did speak for itself, those that pretty much said, I'm going to hate it from the get-go, just kept on going with that, because at that point, it was a bandwagon. Or they might have just legitimately disliked it or whatever. But generally, the consensus from critics and stuff like that was one of kind of tepid reception. Like, yeah, it's all right. It's mediocre. And I, for one, and I think my compatriots here share the same thought. They'll correct me if I'm wrong or they think differently, but to use a quote from the movie, I liked it despite its frustrating quirks. What was your impression of the theatrical release? Who wants to go first?
Well, I'll go first, actually. I only saw it once in theater, and honestly, it was a shame because I actually loved it.
Okay.
Myself.
So we have somebody that loved the theatrical cut, and what's your thoughts on it, Guntik, theatrical cut?
The first time I liked it, I saw it twice. The second time I liked it a lot less, but I didn't hate it.
Right. Okay.
It was fine. Like I said, it's not anything compared to the original, but in its own little world, it's fun.
Right. Okay. And I watched it 3 times somehow, and the first time I was like, hey, you know what? I didn't hate that. It was pretty good. The second time I actually liked it a little bit more. The third time I was kind of back to my thoughts on the first watch. Like, yeah, that was pretty cool. But I did not hate it, which would seem to be the thing. Oh, you gotta hate this because if you don't, you're a piece of crap. Well,
or you're pandering,
or I'm a freaking studio shill, or what have you.
Justice warrior.
Yeah, I mean, I don't give a flying crap if there's vagina. I don't even care that all the dudes were stupid in it. I don't care that the ghost got shot in the ghost nuts, to quote the great wizard of awesomeness that is Al Smith.
No, I don't ghost care. Dick. Dude.
Oh yeah, the ghost
Get
dick.
It right.
I'm sorry. I don't care about all that. Who cares, man? We've been using, we've been demeaning women in movies for 1,000 billion years by now. I don't give a crap. Who cares? Give me a billion jokes about it.
Well, that's the thing. That shit's not even, that's like a non-issue, because the people saying that men are portrayed as assholes. Have you seen the original movie?
Everybody's an asshole.
Everybody's an asshole.
Yeah.
So what the hell? They're just kind of carrying that over and making a little bit of a joke.
I did think that they I mean, I didn't think. I know that they took some stabs at the criticism that they got and like inserted that in there, and that's fine. I don't give a crap, man. If I was a director and people started fucking with my shit, fuck it, I'm gonna put some jokes in there or whatever. I wouldn't have done what Paul Feig did and gone on social media and made a rant about it, but whatever. All that aside, we saw the theatrical for the most part. We got a guy that loved it over here. We got a guy that liked it. Of course, didn't think it was comparable to the original. I, for one, of course, love the original. Don't so much like the sequel to the original, although it's cool, whatever. The characters are cool, whatever. But the movie's kind of shitty. And I did enjoy the remake. There you go. Sue us, whatever. That's our opinion. You don't have to share it, whatever. But, as I said, Halloween's creeping up. The release of the extended edition was upon us. And we decided to venture into the extended edition and see what our thoughts were. We just finished seeing it. And we're going.
We didn't have to pay $50 for it.
We didn't have to pay $50 for it, like Al Smith wanted to, apparently somehow.
Yeah.
But
is that why you guys bring up the $50 thing?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. There is no $50 version.
And if there was, it went away.
Why would you want to? We rented it off Xbox.
Yeah,
that's it. We rented it. $3.
The point is here, we saw the extended edition. And it has 15 more minutes of footage. That doesn't sound like a lot, but in terms of a movie, that is a lot. That's a lot of time to add to a movie. And so we came in cold into this. We just saw. We didn't discuss it. We just came in here to kind of dish on it for you guys. And what's your overall view of the extended edition Guardian?
Well, I kind of want to ask, get your opinion first, because you saw it 3 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it.
Okay, what's your initial overview?
See, overall? I was talking to Guardian earlier, and I was like, I'm kind of scared about this one because I think I had a feeling it was gonna make it worse. But I thought it was a lot better. The pacing didn't feel so rushed anymore. The pacing is a little more like the original. Now, obviously, the jokes aren't, but I don't know, just those scenes kind of changed a lot of stuff, and there's even like alternate takes in there.
Which we'll get to that. The most important one that we think was fixed completely.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
so
one thing though. Yes, I liked it a lot better than the theatrical cut, like a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But man, that dance thing with Kevin should not have been.
I didn't mind it at all.
It was pretty
I didn't
bad.
mind it because in the theatrical cut, it was
shitty.
just like, why are these people posing? I knew why, but I was like, that's stupid. They just walk in on these people pose.
It was pretty bad.
I didn't care. I didn't care that there was 4,000 dance sequences because they were non-intrusive.
Okay, dude. But this is my thoughts.
Yeah, I know.
Dance lit.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I didn't give a fuck about dancing. I actually didn't mind it and didn't care that it was there. A lot of the major complaints against the movie were addressed in the. I mean, you don't have to like them, but they were kind of addressed in this. I know people bitched about, why are there different ghosts? What is there a dragon ghost? That doesn't make sense. Well, first of all, let's go back to the originals. There were all kinds of different ghosts. We know there were classes of ghosts, like Slimer is a class, and etc. And the cartoon, of course, had ghosts. Some of them were like huge slugs, and then weird big-headed boogeymen and what have you. So
that's just a non-issue. Like
it was. Yeah.
That was such a dumb criticism.
People were nitpicking the hell out of it. I think unnecessarily. Like they said, okay, well, why are the balloons ghosts? That doesn't make sense. Why was there a ship that was a ghost in part 2?
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense.
Or that weird big ass troll.
Yeah, I mean, come on, folks. It's a movie called Ghostbusters. It's a comedy for one. It's supposed to be lighthearted and all that crap. Some stuff doesn't need to make sense. But I do think that both the theatrical and this version especially went the extra mile to kind of ground us in this world. And I think that's one of the strengths of the movie, which is that the team really is developed well. And this extended edition, at least for me, managed to pace it, like you said, in a way where you get the team development, and the team development is also goes hand in hand with Rowan's development, which in the theatrical edition was non-existent. Rowan was like a nobody.
He's still not great, but it's better.
He's still like a non-entity, but his development goes hand in hand with them. And you understand, the few scenes that they did add with him, you understand that he's a sociopath. And even though they still kept that stupid him talking to himself in the mirror scene, which is ridiculous.
It's like the only time he says his stuff, really.
Yeah, but I mean, well, he also says it when they confront him.
True.
Yeah, but, I mean, Rowan's still kind of lame. But better.
Yeah, and like I said, really his development comes through the revelations of the team about him.
Yeah.
He's not on the scene when they do. And that's fine because really he's a tool to service, in terms of the film, he's a tool to service their development. And in that regards, it works fine, and better in the extended cut. But he is a shitty villain. I mean,
he's horrible.
Period, whatever. But he is much better in the extended cut. I mean,
to be fair, though, we're kind of used to shitty villains at this point because Marvel.
Yeah.
Got villains!
And we got, of course, the infamous Vortex that appears everywhere in every movie.
But to be fair,
now.
that was in the original.
Yeah, in this one it kind of makes sense, sadly. They did address the, I know fans were in an uproar. Oh, the streams, the crossing, why they carelessly shoot all the time. Okay, first of all, they addressed the issue of carelessly shooting because as Holtzman
I don't think
develops her technology, we even hear her say that she has stabilized the beams and she's increasing accuracy and etc. So, and then she does warn them eventually.
I don't even think, a lot of those criticisms were so dumb that it's just like a waste of time to try to explain these people. Because they're not ever going to see it,
At that point, they were just trying to find something.
It was just trying to find something to hate.
And, whatever. I didn't mind it in theatrical. I sure as hell didn't mind it here because it was much more well explained. Now, there were alternate takes that I thought that were better, especially the one.
Yes, the one. My take on the actual extended edition. I didn't notice that at first, but now that you say that about the pacing, it actually does, or the added scenes do pace it much, much better than the original.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. A lot of the additional scenes, they were really unnecessary, but they didn't fall flat. They actually were entertaining enough to get through it.
I think a lot of the scenes that they added, because there's a lot of dialogue added in.
There is.
Is necessary because in the theatrical cut, you're like, I don't care. Not I don't care. It's just kind of like there really isn't that much character. Yeah, there much character put into these characters. There is, but in this one, you get more of a sense for the characters because of the dialogue.
Right. Two glaring examples of this are Erin, who we get a little bit more of her at the beginning, and I mean they're gag scenes, kind of developing her awkwardness and her need for acceptance and all that stuff. But just having those scenes give context to why she's all goo over,
all bent out of shape, and why she's all stick up her ass kind of thing.
Yeah, and in terms of something that I know the Goontick disliked, how she's always slobbering over Kevin. It kind of gave context to that. She's somebody that's seeking acceptance, that's seeking to fit in.
Still not a big fan of the character, but it is a lot less crappy. You know what I mean? You're like, okay,
Kevin,
get it better. Kevin's a lot less annoying.
Yeah, Kevin, with the added time, the space between his stupidity is kind of spread out. And even though they add scenes with him, he's not... I mean, he was always charming. It just felt like he was in the wrong movie. Even though the movie has a lot of broad, dumb humor in it.
The thing about it is that a lot of the scenes, especially now that we saw the extended, a lot of the scenes seem super cut in the theatrical.
They actually do.
Oh, I noticed.
I saw those cuts too.
Big time.
I saw those cuts too in this one. I was like, oh, that's where they cut it hard.
Yeah.
It was obvious in the theatrical where it's like, oh, that just doesn't seem right. Mm-hmm. And seeing them, it's just like, wow, they cut so much of the dialogue out.
Yeah. When I saw it theatrically, I was like, there was interference here. There definitely. And there you go. Extended edition showed us where, and all those little additions, as small as they were, and they were here and there, like you said, alternate takes at times, alternate dialogue at times, just extended sequences. They added to the character development. They added some jokes here and there, what have you, some blissful alternate takes, and I'm talking here the elephant in the room, stupid ass Ozzy cutaway cameo.
That was a piece of shit.
That was the theatrical cut. That was probably the worst thing in that movie. Is that specific cameo, essentially.
Yeah.
It made no sense.
The cameo sucked in general. In the theatrical cut, they felt too squeezed together. Like, oh man, okay,
the whole movie
stop.
honestly felt that way, especially when the end comes. It just comes out of nowhere. And the cameos especially felt that way, especially Ozzy's, where you're like, what the fuck?
What is this, the early 90s? Yeah, but even though I would have preferred them to take out, excise completely the Ozzy cameo, they went with an alternate cut that didn't feel super dated, thankfully. But
well, it kind of was because it was referencing his old band. But I mean, still, it still was much better than the theatrical cut.
Somehow that was less dated. Something that he referenced, something from the 70s, was less dated than just saying like Sharon.
Yeah,
true.
Licked.
It would have been better if it wasn't in there, but you know, it didn't feel. Whatever. Just get rid of the Ozzy thing. But it's still there and whatever. The alternate version's a little better. And the cameos don't feel all squeezed together. Like you said, the whole movie doesn't feel all smushed into this quick-paced thing. I know Al Stinkin' Smith made a big old deal about, what is it cut from night to day? And that
happens in the original movie.
Very true. That's complete bullshit. I hate that shit.
And let's not forget that there was a huge, massive freaking cloud in the sky.
Developing, and you actually saw it go from day to night slowly, and you're like, oh, it's a fucking cloud.
You want to know what the reason for that happening? It's the same reason that it was in the first movie.
Yes.
Fool.
Because a fucking cloud develops over the entire city and envelops the light. So, eat it, fucker.
I mean, that's like I said. Some people just went in with the idea, I'm gonna hate this, and we
that's
love Ghostbusters, man. I grew up with Ghostbusters. I introduced Guntik to it. He loves it more than me somehow.
Very true.
He actually came in later to the Ghostbusters fold.
Yeah.
But he became an instant fan. We've seen it theatrically countless times. We've seen it a billion times on DVD, Blu-ray, VHS, what have you.
Versions of it.
You know,
we named our damn YouTube channel after Slimer.
One of our ratings, granted the lowest rating, is the $10 Slimer rating. We love Ghostbusters, man. And this movie, whether it would have sucked completely or not, has no bearing on my love of the original. And I was not pissed. Even if, even if they announced that... what's his name? James Nguyen was going to direct it. I would have been like, well, that freaking sucks.
Honestly, that would have been awesome, though.
I kind of want to see it now.
That would have been great. The ghosts would be all fake, just going like this.
Flapping
their
some
wings,
reason.
flapping their ghost wings.
Even if they announced somebody shitty was going to direct it, I would have been like, whatever. The original still exists. I don't care. Paul Feig's work, although I don't think fit the comedic style of the original, I liked his work. I thought he'd made some funny movies. Bridesmaids was particularly great. I really enjoyed Spy, which kind of walked a thin line between a spoof and a legitimate, I don't even know how to say it. A legitimate comedy about that. Help me out here. I'm stumbling.
Comedy,
well, anyway, just a legit comedy.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Paul Feig makes comedies. This is not like the original where it's kind of like atmosphere heavy and there really isn't that many laugh out loud jokes. It's more just the delivery. This is more of a comedy, a straightforward
this is
comedy.
more of a straightforward comedy. And that brings me to address this. In both theatrical and especially in this version, just like the original movie brought a troupe of actors that were known to act as themselves basically in movies. Bill Murray was always Bill Murray, and Harold Ramis, when he did act, was Harold Ramis, and Dan Aykroyd was Dan Aykroyd basically in movies, and they were brought in for that specific purpose because they could fulfill these roles as those people and create these characters as those people. Well, this crop of girls are, I'm not putting them on par with them, but these crop of girls have come up in the comedic industry and they are known for playing these specific roles, and they were brought in for that reason, and I think they fit this movie, Now, if we're going to go and compare, of course there's no comparison. The original is vastly superior, but standing on its own, I think the new Ghostbusters is a fine movie, man. I mean, it's not a classic. It's not going to be something we're all loving forever, but it's definitely enjoyable. And all these criticisms. What were some of the criticism people threw out about the movie?
The chicks.
Let's get over that. I don't give a fuck if they were like I said, it could have been this bottle portraying it as long as it was fun movie.
There's so many dumb ones, like the day to night,
I think
the cameos.
I think the one thing that kind of pissed me off about most, I guess, critical reviews of it is that they just, to me, it seems like they're just finding something to hate on.
That's just how it was. Just like you can't pick out a specific one to critique because there's just everything was wrong about this movie the second it came out, according to people, and it's just dumb. Like you can't, I think, like I said, like it's a waste of time for us to sit here and be like, well, it doesn't make sense, or not that, but this is a dumb criticism because of this, because they're never gonna see that. You know what I mean? Like they already made their minds. We're gonna hate this movie, no matter what.
And that's fine. I guess it's fine if you don't like the movie, that's fine, whatever. Yeah. But actually see the movie and then go, okay, I don't like it or not.
That's the thing. It's like we're here at $10 Slimer. We're firm believers in make up your own opinion. See the movie, make up your own opinion, and don't make up an excuse like, oh, I don't want to give them money.
Yeah, that's stupid.
That's dumb. Just watch it. There's many ways to watch it. Maybe your friend can kidnap you and take you to the movie. Your non-existent friend can kidnap you.
Yeah. There was one criticism that I kind of found stupid, going on the same vein, I guess, was that the original theme song was in the movie, but it went nowhere.
That happens in the original.
It just opened the fucking movie.
Yes. Classic Al Smith moment. He claimed that the intro sequence, actually what followed the intro sequence was the original theme song, and it built up to nothing. The original does the same thing.
That's what happens in the original.
We have the intro sequence, and it leads to just dialogue. What the hell are you talking about, man? Anyway,
he criticized. This is the thing. Like a lot of people, it's not just him. A lot of people criticize this movie for stuff that's in the original. You know what I mean? Like saying it's a piece of shit for doing this, but it's in the original, and it's not like it's ripping it off. It's its own thing. Like for example, that when it cuts to the dialogue scene. That happens in the original, and suddenly it's the worst thing you can do. That doesn't make sense.
Let me voice that a little differently, because what it sounded like was like, well, anyway, let me just voice it differently. I think what is trying to be communicated here is that people were criticizing it for being like the original.
No.
They were criticizing it for being...
hating on things.
For being dumb.
In comparison to the original.
No.
They were saying
criticizing things... saying that it's the worst thing you can do in a movie, but it is in the original, like that.
Okay, yeah.
Or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Like something's dumb. Like they shot this a certain way and it's dumb. Yet in the original, see the exact same shot, the exact same thing,
or maybe even worse. You know.
And it's like
see, that's a catch-22 because a lot of people were also like, well, they're just ripping off the original in this
exactly.
Yeah,
but although they did. Touch on a lot of notes here and there that were like the same paces as the original. I felt that they kind of like went there and then they took it their own direction.
A good example of the scenes I'm talking about is the beginning where it just cuts to dialogue, or when the day to night to day. It's like that doesn't make any sense. It's in the original and they explain it.
Yeah.
At that point, you're just trying to ignore things.
Yeah, really.
You're being a hypocrite, essentially.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So overall. What do you think about it? The extended edition?
I thought it was way better than the theatrical, and I like the theatrical. The theatrical was one of those things where it's fun. I like it. It's nowhere near the original, but it's fun, and I like it. This one's actually like, this is pretty good, man. I like it a lot. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna buy it.
The original theatrical had a lot of dumb, broad humor. But I think it fit the tone of that movie.
Yeah, I think this one. I think this one balances the dumb humor with some actual.
Yeah, it does.
Some content.
The extra content, kind of spreads out and balances that dumb humor with just story development and character development.
Had some dumb humor. Like Lewis was a dumb character.
Yeah, but despite that. Being there, I mean, like I said, in terms of this movie and in terms of what the cast was doing and the directors, I guess, were doing and the writers, whatever, I mean, it just fits this movie.
It does.
It doesn't have to be the original. And in terms of this movie, it
would have
fits.
gotten shit for that.
Yeah, no matter what, it would have been a losing game. And even if they would have handed the reins over to a new cast, there would have been some criticism somewhere along the way. But whatever. But to answer your question. A lot of the problems for me were addressed in this cut. Like I said, I liked the theatrical cut. I had fun with it. I mean, I saw its glaring faults, and I didn't really care. I was like, whatever, man. I'm a fan. I wanted Ghostbusters to be good, and I went and saw a movie that was fun. It wasn't particularly great, but it was fun. Whatever. I'm not hurt. I'm not butthurt about them. I'm not butthurt that they raped my childhood, because they didn't rape my childhood. Whatever. It's a fucking movie. If it's cool, it's cool. If it's not, it's not. Whatever. But this extended edition, I had a hell of a lot more fun. I laughed easier. There was no moments where I cringed. I liked the alternate takes. I liked the little added things to the characters, the new scenes. I thought the pacing was way better. It was just a way better movie, and it was way more enjoyable. And hey, what do you know? Yeah, that's one I'll buy. Screw it.
Good.
And you?
Like I said before, I love this film. I know that you guys don't like it as much as I do, but I actually got out of the theatrical version of it when I saw it in theaters. I got out loving this film, and the added scenes, albeit some were unnecessary completely, but it entertained me still, and it, as the Guntik pointed out, it actually added to the pacing of it. One thing I didn't really like or appreciate that much was the cop dancing sequence at the end.
Yeah.
But it was like, it actually explained why the cops were just standing there frozen.
It's not horrible. It's just personally, I was like,
yeah. But overall, I really enjoyed this version better. I had a good time with it. It entertained me. I liked it a lot. I really did.
Yeah.
Loved it.
And just to touch on this again, in the original theatrical cut, I not that I hated him. I think he's a fantastic actor. I think he's really funny. Chris Hemsworth's character annoyed the shit out of me. He was way even in the movie that had dumb humor and broad humor along with other types of humor. He was way too dumb for me, and a lot of people were like, "That's the only good thing in the movie."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh man, that's
honestly that's one of the worst parts of the movie."
Yeah, I thought it was not, but here this movie balanced that out and spread his humor out and gave you enough between it.
I think what made his scenes a lot better was that there was more reaction from the team to his dumb actions.
Yeah,
it just made it funnier.
And there was reactions more to Erin's character googling over him essentially.
But that was a lot less annoying.
It was a lot
less annoying.
I still don't get that. I mean, I like maybe it's just me. I like Kristen Wiig. She always plays that fucking character.
Yeah, I don't know. It always seems less fake, I guess. But that's my thoughts on
it. All right. But yeah, I guess that's it. I mean, we seem to have enjoyed this extended edition.
Truly.
Give it a shot, man. I mean, if you guys didn't go see it, if you went and saw it, or if you just said, I'm not going to see this because of X reason, that's fine, whatever. But, if you want a legitimate response to it, go and see it yourself. Make your own damn mind up. I mean,
you have to, don't even listen to us. Make up your own.
Yeah, I mean, if you hate it, fuck it. You hate it. I hate movies that he loves and vice versa, etc., a whole way around. Yeah. Whatever. We get along. Who gives a crap? You don't have to jump on the damn bandwagon.
It's just a movie. I mean, you don't have to freaking hack some... what they did with Leslie Jones. You don't have to do all that shit just because it's a movie.
And she was actually a really
by the way,
she was one of the better characters.
Let's bring that up while we're at it, because Leslie Jones' character, everybody was saying, "Oh, look, she's just being stereotyped, and she's gonna play this big, stupid, loud black chick stereotyping crap." And hey, look. If anybody was familiar with her comedy before that, that's the type of character she played. But here in this movie, she went and flipped it on you fucks, and she was not that character. She was a completely different character. Yes, of course, she had her loud moments here and there, but they were far and few and in between. And she was funny, And so there you go, a perfect example of people making a judgment before they saw the thing. See the movie. I'm not look, and don't get me wrong. I'm not saying if you don't want to pay for the damn thing, Al Smith or whoever you are.
There's other ways.
There's other ways to see it.
There's other ways.
And we're not promoting piracy, but if you're gonna be such a big,
no one said that.
Well, I'm not. I'm not promoting privacy, but piracy or privacy apparently. But if you want to make your own damn mind up, there's ways to see it, and you know there are, and just go and see it and whatever, you know. And if you still think it sucks, well then at least you had an informed opinion.
Yeah.
But you know, whatever. We, for one, liked it. I had fun with it. Of course, we still have our original that we will always prefer, and it's way better. But you know, whatever, man. It was fun time.
Let's just say. I mean, we are putting our opinions on liking Ghostbusters on the internet. Mm-hmm. That's got to say something. You know what I mean? Yeah, because pretty much at this point, if you're gonna get hate. If you say you like it, you're a piece of shit, and you're not a true nerd, and fuck you, you know. I like it. If you don't like it, well, cool, man. That's cool. I respect your damn opinion. Make your own video.
Unless you're a complete idiot about it, you know.
Yeah.
Al Smith. That was seriously though. I am a subscriber to Al Smith. And I do listen to his stuff.
I'm not a big fan of milking the Ghostbusters thing.
Yeah, we're not hating on you, Al. But we do think you went in hard, and
some of the criticisms we gotta critique. It's hard.
It was ridiculous. You just got ridiculous at some point. But anyway, whatever. We're just using you. We're joshing you. We're pulling on your leg.
Don't take it serious.
Don't take it seriously.
Flag our shit.
Don't make a rant about it, bro.
Don't take down our comments. You know.
We do watch your shit, and we're just using you as an example.
Yeah.
But it's all meant in fun and jest. But anyway, that was TDS on our first impressions. On the Ghostbusters 2016 remake, extended edition, and I guess that's it, guys.
I mean, one final thing. If you're gonna see it, and this is your first time seeing it, see this version. Don't see the theatrical.
Yeah, absolutely. Pick if you haven't seen it before, pick the extended version over the theatrical.
It's way better
because I'm never gonna see the theatrical again.
Same thing with Batman. Like it was the same thing. Just see the extended. Don't see the theatrical.
Absolutely. So anyway, that's it for now. We're going to continue to watch this pumpkin rot in real time.
Oh, we got a new one coming too.
Yeah.
A bigger one too.
It's bigger, better.
Making fungi kingdoms. It's going to be like Mario up in this piece.
It's going to be, it's going to be like the Lovecraftian nightmare.
Yeah.
It all makes sense.
Comes full circle.
Signing out.